How's everybody going? My name is Augie with VIP Playlist. I'm here with my handsome co-host.
Thanks, bud. It's Adam. What's up, everyone?
We have, you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you do in the band and what band?
What's up? We are two members of the home team. I'm Brian. I sing vocals.
I'm Daniel. I play drums.
Nice.
We're stoked to
Awesome.
be here.
I have to say, I hope you don't take this wrong way. I was watching one of your music videos today. It was the Watching All Your Friends Get Rich video. Brian, you looked like Matthew McConaughey in that video. Like a young Matthew McConaughey.
I've gotten a couple comparisons from that one, but I don't think I've gotten Matthew McConaughey. So I'll add
Dude,
pretty great.
starting off with the sweet talk.
Yeah,
sweet
man.
nothings.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought you were going to say I was expecting a clown.
No. No, definitely. I was like, man, that's definitely Matthew McConaughey vibes right there.
Badass.
Right on.
We'll play him in his
Autobiography. Yeah, man. Y'all are from Seattle, right?
rainy
That's
city.
awesome. Nice. I've been there. I went in like 2015.
Right on.
Yeah, I loved it. It was beautiful, dude. Oh,
Right
man.
on.
I went to
Love it
the
too.
Jimi Hendrix Museum.
Mhm.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's one of the few places that like we take people like when other bands come through, if they like have a day, that's like one of the touristy spots worth hitting for sure.
Yeah. I hit that, and I didn't go like up to Space Needle. I was like, looking at it's fine.
Yeah, don't bother.
Don't bother. It's like
Yeah.
the restaurant up there is so overpriced and it's not that good.
Yeah,
As they usually are.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You can go to
my
the top of the Columbia Tower and get a way better view.
So today we are going to make a Spotify playlist based on some of y'all's influences and everything like that. Is there anything y'all want to name it?
Oh, yeah. We definitely want to call it Real Rockers Only. Homage to our fans.
Probably less rock in here than you would expect.
for being called Real Rockers Only.
Hell yeah.
Real rockers listen to all sorts of genres.
That's
It's
right.
more of
Yeah,
a
Very true.
spirit
it is true.
ethos
It's
than
an
any-
ethos more than anything.
The first question we like to open this thing up with is, can you give us some artists that maybe your parents introduced you to that maybe you still love, or maybe grandparents or something like that?
That's a cool question. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my dad had me growing up listening to a lot of rock music, and he was really into, Soundgarden and Audioslave were
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains, like Seattle, stuff like that. We didn't even live in Seattle at the time, which is funny. Both my parents listened to that. And then my dad also listened to a lot of like White Stripes and Jack White. And my first concert ended up being the Raconteurs, which was one of Jack White's
Nice.
projects.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
really great. So I'm at the Moore Theater. But he also listened to a lot of like James Brown and R&B shit like that, or like funk influences from the 70s and stuff like that.
It's making sense.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he would in the morning when he would get us up for school, he would blast, "Get up, get on up, get up," like loud, like really loud. And we would all
my
be like,
gosh.
"Bro, come on."
That'll wake you up, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Both my parents were pretty music oriented, especially my dad. He's also like a big Van Halen fan. And he's only, I'm 27 and he's 54 now. So he was, he's not super old as far as dads go.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I grew up in a, neither of them are musicians, but I definitely grew up in a musical household.
That's
yeah,
awesome. man.
I'd say my dad was into a lot of like aggressive music for being like a computer software dork. He like introduced me to White Zombie. So we listened to like a lot of White Zombie on road trips growing up. Probably the most Ken Matson thing of all time is I remember when we watched the movie Triple X with Vin Diesel. There was a scene where there's like an industrial band playing in like an ice hotel where there's like a meetup going on, and that band is Rammstein.
Yeah.
Rammstein. And my dad went and bought like the entire discography at the time.
That's hilarious.
Like,
That's
"This
awesome.
is so sick."
So we
This is the
listened to a lot of that. Then also like, a lot of like AC/DC. That was a band that he played a lot. My mom was more like into disco and funk. So and my mom's Venezuelan. So we listened to a lot of like Spanish music and a lot of disco growing up with her.
Nice. That's awesome. Let's put a James Brown Get Up on here first.
Love
You
that.
have to. Gotta start it off,
That's
Yeah.
great.
And then I wrote down a couple, but if you want to change them, you feel free. Soundgarden,
Yeah, do Spoon Man.
Spoon Man. Yeah, I love that song.
That's one that my parents would play. My brother, I had a little brother who has way more energy than I do, and and he would go nuts when they put that on. And Red Hot Chili Peppers was another big one.
Yeah.
That he would go buck when they played.
Dude, for some reason, anytime I know how Spoon Man goes, but anytime I hear that song name, I always get it confused with Slow Ride. So
Spoon Man. That's what you're thinking.
Easy.
The melody's not that different. Spoon Man.
Yeah.
Come together with your hand. Yeah, no, that's great. I love that. And then maybe throw for a little more homage to my mom, maybe throw like an OG Beyonce song on there because that's big. He's really we used to listen to a lot of Beyonce growing up.
Are we talking like Destiny's Child Beyonce?
Crazy in Love, I'm thinking like that.
Oh, dude, that one's a banger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I also have the Wrecking Tour, since that was like your first show, if you want to throw one.
Yeah, Steady As She Goes used to be my favorite song of all time.
That is such a good song. The music video is dope as hell too.
Oh yeah.
You want to do White Zombie?
Oh, absolutely. Let me see which White Zombie song like really represents my dad. I'd say probably More Human Than Human. Like the Astro Creep album, that was one that we listened to a lot. And man, the shit holds up now for sure, but like the songs are really long.
Yeah.
Like, I remember a couple tours ago, I was listening to it while we were driving, and there was like a couple songs that like go past 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they're just riding this riff forever.
Yeah. Songs are getting shorter and shorter. And I mean, it's like, everyone wants that instant gratification. Everything seems to be getting shorter and shorter and faster and faster.
Yeah, we keep talking about like, let's do a song that's like 90 seconds long.
Yeah. Eventually there will be a home team song that's 90 seconds long.
Like chorus, verse, chorus.
Yeah.
Just get it over with quick.
Let's get it.
Listen to it twice.
Double the streams, baby.
That's right. Yeah.
Secret.
Yep. And then I have Rammstein.
Yeah. The song, my preference there is kind of a deeper cut. I'm going to do my best to pronounce it because I don't actually speak German, but it's Wollt ihr das Bett in Flammen sehen.
You got that?
You did a good job, man. Yeah, I just typed in a W and it came right up. So
that song is a banger.
Yeah.
I have to check it out.
I grew up playing hockey, and that was always like my pump up song. Like right as my parents were driving me to the game, like we'd play that song as like the last song in the parking lot. That's the
Nice.
There's like awesome. like a gun cocking noise in it too. It's hard as hell.
Oh yeah, man. And then I have AC/DC, but if you want to throw anything else on here, you can. As far as one more.
Yeah. Big one for my mom. I'd say Tina Turner. Was an artist I listened to a lot growing up. The one that this has no representation of my mom or my family at all. Private Dancer. That song slaps.
That's great.
Here's one, like if I'm talking about my mom.
Yeah.
Another one that is kind of a less out of left field one. The artist Luis Miguel. He has a cover of a really classic like Spanish song called Bésame, which is Kiss Me in Spanish. Yep. And if you want to hear a dude with like just a generational voice, like this dude's voice is just unparalleled. So Luis Miguel's Bésame, that song is insane.
I've never heard of him.
Oh yeah.
You would appreciate how like when he belts, it's just like it just sounds like.
You know who that is, Adam?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like first generation, so yeah, my folks listen to all that stuff.
Yeah,
I heard all that stuff.
Like an arena guy.
Yeah, Saturday morning, mom's cleaning, and that's just blaring, and I wasn't sleeping in.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Fond memories for sure. We went over some of your first memories, but you guys obviously went from. Well, I mean, you're still listening, but now you're actively doing it, right? So, how did you get into drumming, and how did you get into singing, or like? That's I'm not saying that one's more difficult than the other, but one's a little more personal, right? So you start singing and then it's like, oh shit, like what if I suck? But like someone at some point had to say like, no, dude, you're good. Like,
yeah. I'll let Daniel go first on drumming.
Does that feeling ever go away? what if I suck?
It,
Oh,
it did go away. I,
Oh,
I
good.
now know that I don't suck.
Yeah.
fantastic.
I'm happy for you.
I love that.
So the way I got into drumming was in fifth grade. Everyone at my school had to be in band or orchestra, and I thought the idea of playing clarinet or violin was lame. So I decided I wanted to be a drummer, but everyone wants to be the drummer. So
Yeah.
they actually would make you like do a little audition, which was like they sat 10 people like in chairs, and they just said like, okay, play this beat, and it's like the most simple 4 on the floor. Your right hand does eighth notes, your right foot is on like 1 and, or I guess it'd be 1 and 2, so your right foot is on like 1 and 3, your left hand is on 2 and 4, like the most basic drum beat ever, just to weed out like the kids who have absolutely no coordination.
Sure.
So I took drum lessons for about a year, thinking it was going to be this like big, difficult thing. And you just sat down and played like the first beat that anyone ever teaches you. So I got the part. So that was big news at the Matson household. But my intention was to do band for 1 year and then quit because playing music was lame and that's not what I wanted to do. And I'm still here dedicating my life to it. So
Now, look at you now.
So for me, as far as singing goes, I started out on guitar. And actually, if I'm going to be honest, I started out making up little tunes in my head when I was in like 4th grade.
Mhm.
I've been doing that shit since the beginning, but I had no real way to channel that.
when did you start whistling?
That well, I was about to say. By the time I was about 6th or 7th grade, is when I started whistling, and that is people who know me know that I'm like a chronic whistler. I'm addicted to whistling, and the story behind that is that I was at the OMSI Museum in Portland because that's where I used to live when I was a kid, and I saw this dude behind the counter in the cafeteria whistling while he was cooking, and he was really good at it.
Mhm.
Like he was just super his pitch was just really good, and I was like, wow, that's really cool, I want to learn how to whistle. And so I just like spent some time learning how to whistle in like 5th grade, and it took me a while to get it down, but once I did, it was just like constant, and now I'm always whistling. That was a big piece of like channeling melody for myself. But around the same time, probably about 7th grade, my dad he wanted to get Guitar Hero, and he wanted to get a PlayStation 3 so that we could play the new Guitar Hero game. And I started playing it, and I started playing it a lot, and I got really, really good at it. One time he came down and he watched me like playing, and he was like, dude, this is insane. And I was like, oh, I've just been playing a lot. And he goes, I think you should play like a real guitar. Like, I think you should probably pick up a real guitar. So that Christmas, he got me my first like shitty SG. He didn't spend too much money because he was like, we're going to feel it out. Let's see if he actually wants to do this. Then about 2 years later, when I stuck with it and got a lot better at playing real guitar, he got me my first like legit guitar, which is actually sitting right next to me, because I don't play a lot of guitar anymore, so I haven't really collected very many. But it was this Jerry Cantrell.
Hey,
nice.
What is it? The GNL Rampage. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I've had this thing since 9th grade. So it sounds
Sweet.
pretty damn good. But anyway, he got me that, and then from then on, it was just a lot of guitar playing until my next band. I played in a metalcore band all throughout high school. I wrote most of the music, and eventually we had a vocalist, but eventually he quit and we couldn't find another vocalist. And at the time, like I could sing. So it kind of just came down to like, all right, well, nobody else can do it. So Brian, I think you got to do it. And I was like, all right. So we got a new guitarist because those are easy to find, and taught him all my parts. And so I became the singer. And then from then on, it just became like, that was the main thing I was doing. And about maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, that started to fizzle out, and I auditioned for the home team and got the part.
Yeah. So were you singing and screaming since it was a metalcore band?
I was, yeah.
Nice.
I was doing a lot of fry screaming, and I was a lot better at it back then because I don't do a ton of fry screaming now. There's a couple spots on the record where I do it, but I'm not. Yeah, I used to be a lot better at it than I am now, which makes sense. You're good at what you do a lot.
Right.
Certainly a much better singer now. So
yeah. Oh man, absolutely. You're an amazing singer, dude. I went through and read a bunch of like previous interviews that y'all have done, talking about how all of y'all were basically in like metalcore bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can hear like the post-hardcore influences and everything like that in the music for sure.
For sure.
Love the band.
Yeah, I feel like there's if you are familiar with aggressive music, like it's very obvious that the people playing and like writing our music, us, are metal fans, even if the music isn't inherently like heavy. I think just in the way we write and the way that, like, honestly, like our production too. Like our music just sounds like, it doesn't sound like bands in our genre, really.
Yeah, I think like you said, like just the way you write, some of the production, some of the tuning, I feel like even.
For sure. The tuning
just sounds like, for lack of a better word, just like chunkier, thicker. So I definitely get that for sure.
Nice.
And that's just years of us being metal fans. And so like our ears are kind of tuned to listening to heavier music. So when we're like doing, when we're recording, like we're all gear nerds. And so we're like super sticklers for tones. And we want like, when I'm thinking of how I want my kick and my snare to sound, like all my references are heavy bands because I want it to cut through like a heavy band. It's funny, very early in the band, we actually like before Brian joined, our guitarist John and I had a bit of an overcorrection where we like we were afraid of being too metal, so we like overcorrected and went like super into the pop punk realm, and tried to do like everything was collared shirts, like all blue color scheme, like not metal production. We found
it looked like a Gap ad.
Just Aeropostale.
Was that for like Black Sheep? I listened to that album. I went to your Bandcamp and checked that out.
Oh yeah, that is
prior to me.
That is the pre-Brian era. We scrubbed most of that stuff from the internet. It's only on Bandcamp.
It's still on Bandcamp though.
Because I was listening to it and I was like, that does not sound like Brian at all.
Yep. Nope.
The first song you released with them was "Letter for a Friend," or was it before that?
Jimmy on the Radio.
Jimmy on the Radio. Okay.
Same era.
Same era.
We recorded like 4 songs and then put out like two song singles.
We collected them into an EP.
Gotcha. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Burning Gold. So it was Jimmy on the Radio, Burning Gold, Letters from a Friend, and then Jack of All Trades acoustic.
Okay. So the way I do, me and Adam prepare for these is I take all your music that's on Spotify and I put it in chronological order, and we listen to it from like the first song I released to the last. And I know they're not written that way, but as far as like musicianship and like vocalists and everything, you can definitely hear like how good you have gotten throughout the years. And it's crazy, especially like the whole band, man, just from your first release with Jimmy on the Radio and Burning Gold to, y'all's previous album. It's just hella growth, man. So
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, it's awesome. Kind of like a little more groovier vocalists because you don't really get those a whole lot.
Very strong voice.
Yeah,
for sure. Let's talk about some of these metal bands though. Like, what were you guys listening to? Like, what era? Like, what age were you guys? Like 15, 16? Like, what was going on? What were some of the metal bands or metalcore bands?
I mean, for me, new metal was like that was my shit when I was from like, I don't know, I think 11 or maybe 10 or 11. So I was born in 90. And so I was like just starting to get into my own music tastes when like Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park and Korn all were like, the biggest names in music.
Absolutely.
So like Significant Other and Chocolate Starfish.
Yeah, my brother had that album.
Huge records for me. Hybrid Theory and Meteora by Linkin Park were huge for me. Toxicity by System of a Down. Those were like
beautiful,
kind of like the defining records for me.
Yeah.
And it's funny looking back, Linkin Park is like the most polished of all those bands for sure. And like, they have radio, like obvious radio songs on there. Limp Bizkit is like, very weird and a very time specific band, but like the production on Toxicity by System of a Down, that shit is heavy by today's standards.
Yes.
Like, I can't believe that I was listening to like Prison Song. The opening riff on that is just like the chunkiest guitars imaginable.
It is. It's like 10. And I was
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like literally came out when I was, 10 or 11 years old. And I was listening, on my way to hockey practice with the CD
Mhm.
player and like those like over the ear, not over the ear, but like, the old
the
headphones
old
that would like clip
Sony with
onto
the,
each ear.
yeah.
Just like sitting in the back seat thinking my parents don't understand me, listening to like the heaviest guitar tone you could possibly have.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
yeah, those were like, three bands that were really influential for me growing up.
Let's
Yeah.
get some songs from them. Let's go ahead and slap some of them on.
Uh, okay, let's go. Prison Song by System of a Down.
We don't get that one much. I'm excited.
Bro,
to
it's
edit
so
that one.
crazy, dude.
So happy.
I love it. So with System of a Down is a band that we get a lot, but like, so there's a lot of bands we get a lot, like Under Oath and stuff like that, but they always choose they always pick the like almost the same songs. System of a Down. Yeah, System of a Down. It's been a different song every time
Each
somebody's
time it's
mentioned
been
them.
different. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. As it should be.
Yeah. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
If I'm going off hybrid theory, I'm gonna say With You.
Yep.
This is the third track. That opening riff is just like new metal gold.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna say Limp Bizkit, that is a tough one. I have a very funny story. My wife, a couple years into us dating, I guess she had no idea who Limp Bizkit was, and I showed her one time, like I was playing Chocolate Starfish, and she was like, "What is? I've never heard this before." And I just started singing every word because I've listened to the album like 1,000 times. And she looked at me like she had no idea who I was.
Oh yeah, he'll do that.
I'm like, to this day, I've probably said this in like 10 interviews. There are two people on the planet who can rap, sing, and scream at a platinum selling level, and those two people are Fred Durst and Kid Rock. I don't know anything about Fred Durst personally. I imagine Kid Rock is not. I don't really agree with many of his beliefs.
Yeah.
But man, those like only two guys doing that combo of things on different albums.
Yeah.
Selling 1 million records.
Yeah, no kidding.
But if I had to go with, let's see, what song off Chocolate Starfish would I do? There's one drum beat. Oh, My Generation by Limp Bizkit. That is the opening drum beat. I still play that like as like a sound check now.
My brother had that album, and I was born in the '90s as well, but he had all the good albums, so I had to steal them from him.
Yep, that's what I pretty much did with my older brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna throw Linkin Park on there as well because that was probably my first favorite band. I think I was about 9 years old. And Meteora is the album. I'm a little younger, so Meteora was the album that I found initially. And I would probably, if I'm gonna I'll keep going, but if we're just doing songs right now, I might as well I'm gonna throw Breaking Habit on there. That was a big one for me from that album. I have distinct memories of listening to that playing Zelda Wind Waker in my bedroom.
Sick.
And Linkin Park was a big one. And then as I got a little older, I actually got really into Metallica. And I'm just gonna say songs while we're going, since that's
go ahead. Yeah, that's fine, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just gonna go throw Battery by Metallica on there.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I know John would be very stoked about that one too. Metallica was my favorite band in 7th grade for sure. And then as I kept going, the first artist that I ever listened to that got me into like really heavy music was probably All That Remains.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And I found 6 on Guitar Hero.
Yep.
And dude, that song blew me away. So I'll throw 6 from All That Remains on that playlist. And then as I kept going, I found what ended up being my favorite band for probably a decade, Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to do some deeper cuts because as much as I love the singles, they weren't the ones that, made me eyes gloss over.
Yeah.
I'm listening to it over and over again. So I'm going to throw The Crowing. And if it's okay, I'm going to do one more.
Oh, that's fine, man. Yeah.
Because Coheed lasted a long time. Let's do The Willingwell 1, Feel for the Feeding End. Two deep cut Coheed songs. But yeah, that's kind of where I came from as far as like rock music when I was younger. It was Linkin Park all the way up through Coheed.
That's awesome. Yeah, Coheed's sick, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Love seeing them live.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him a few times for sure because I used to go to those shows back when I was a kid too.
Mhm.
The last time I saw them was actually this summer, just because I happened to be working at the event that they were playing at Marymore. And I was like,
Perfect.
great, cool,
Right?
I'll go
Yeah.
see Coheed.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw them. So was that the one with Alkaline Trio?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I went to that tour as well.
Nice.
It was super great.
I don't know how much further you want us to keep going because now Dan and I are starting to get into our scene days.
Yeah, I think
Please,
the next,
please
the next
do.
time up is the scene.
Let's
Yeah.
go,
Scene
man. Let's
period.
Yeah,
keep
so
it
you're-
going, man. Scene,
So you're
baby.
scenesters. How old are we? Where are we in life?
I'm 32.
I'm 27.
Okay,
Well,
you're my age.
and the
I'm
scene-
32. so-
Okay, so your scenester days. Okay, so
So I
scenester
was in
year-
high school
Yeah.
2004 to 2008. So like peak MySpace girl.
Yep. I graduated in
Yes.
2008.
09 here.
So this
Yeah.
is I'm sure we listen to a lot of the same era.
I'm
so
excited.
I grew up we both grew up in Seattle, but a couple of the big bands in Seattle at the time were the Fall of Troy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That was a huge one. Also the Blood Brothers.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
I was
goodness.
actually gonna say them. Yeah.
And that was like more of the sceney, like screaming genre.
Yep.
The other bands that I like still listen to, there were the big three from our area were Daphne Loves Derby, Forgive Durden, and This Providence. Actually, like the first real like scene show that I went to was those three bands at a teen center in one of our suburbs, which like looking back is just insane that I saw all three of those bands like when they were still like in college.
Forgive
Mhm.
Durden. They have like a huge cult following online, man.
Yep.
Still to this day.
I went to like high school with the singer's younger brother. He like the singer went to another high school in my area because they were from like the same little suburb I was from. And then as far as like bands from the scene that were really big for me, I'd say Under Oath, From First to Last, and Fear Before the March of Flames.
Fear
Yeah.
Before. Oh my gosh, we don't get them very much. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a kind of a deeper cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But they're great.
If I'm picking like songs from these bands, from the Fall of Troy, I really listened to the self-titled, like the shitty recorded one.
Yeah.
Where like I still like Doppelganger, that's great, but like I think if I remember correctly, the story of the self-titled is that they went into, I don't remember if it was London Bridge but it was like a local studio, maybe it was Robert Lang or something, and they like actually it might have even been a way smaller studio than that.
Yeah.
But they like recorded it over spring break, and they played all the songs together in a room, like one-shotting them all. Because they didn't have the money to do anything else. And so like the fact that it was played as well as it was,
Yeah.
just like playing them all into a room together is insane.
Yeah, I mean, it makes
Right.
you like, admire it more, enjoy it more. Like it's just a cool thing.
It's crazy because the way that we write, like we don't play the songs really together before.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the stuff is written while we're in the studio, so we have to like record it and then learn how to play it afterwards.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we don't like get in a room and then just like record, like write everything and then bring it to the studio. So I'm gonna go real deep cut. I'm gonna say Reassurance Rests in the Sea off the Fall of Troy's self-titled record. I know everyone likes FCP remix. I prefer the original version. It's just me.
That song FCP Remix is responsible for a lot of guitarists because of Guitar Hero 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
I played that shit for sure.
Yeah. That's like everybody's favorite.
Next up, I'm gonna go Fear Before the March of Flames from their second record, Art Damage. Should Have Stayed in the Shallows.
Yeah.
That's the second song. Something about that dude's screams, it's just one of the angriest vocalists that like I've ever heard.
Some of their music is like unsettling, but in a good way. Like I don't know what it is about them, but they're awesome.
Oh yeah, totally. Like just the progression from the first three records are like all totally different. I feel like in the first one you can see the pencil tight skin like jeans with like the carabiner with their keys shaking, like the way they play it.
It's me now, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
And then like by the third record, I think they had a song called Lycanthropy, which was on like the Underworld theme, like soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it's like way darker and all like synth based. So cool evolution for like a weirdo band.
Yeah, for sure.
Keeping with weirdo cuts of songs from first to last, I'm going to say Failure by Designer Jeans.
Yeah.
That is a song that was on, I think it was on one of the Punk-O-Rama compilations. And it's like it didn't make it onto one of their records. It was like in between Dear Diary and Heroin. But that is like, to me, peak scene MySpace music. Like that is like a song I go back to constantly. And then honestly, from Under Oath, anything off They're Only Chasing Safety, Dealer's Choice, full record front to back.
Man, what is it? I love that. I love that album too. That was like growing up religious. That was like one of the only 3 albums I could listen to.
That's funny.
I mean, I could say Boy Brush Red, but let's do It's Dangerous Business. I like that one.
Yeah, I
cool with that one.
I'm pretty sure for that album, I never bought it, but there was like one other scene kid in my grade, and we would like trade burned copies of CDs.
Yeah.
And I think I gave him a burned copy of the Fall of Troy's CD, and he gave me whatever that Under Oath CD.
Yeah.
Simpler times.
Swapped them.
Simpler times.
That's awesome. So I was going to ask you about the Blood Brothers. Do you still listen to Blood Brothers?
I go back to it occasionally. I mean, it's look, I'll be real. I listen to a lot of shit that's like, I would not blame anyone for not calling it music.
Yeah.
Like, that is on the fringes of like weirdo art.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a song by the Blood Brothers, I'd probably say Cecilia. There's like a 2-minute long outro to that song that's not real. It's just like static noise. I think that's the name of the song. It's like
Cecilia and the Silhouette.
Yeah. Wait, let me double check. Yeah, Cecilia and the Silhouette Saloon. That would be the one that I had to pick.
So there's a band. It's very similar to that style of music. They're from England. They're called Test Icicles.
So it's circle, square,
triangle. Yeah, that album is so fucking good, dude. I tell anybody that mentions the Blood Brothers, dude, you gotta fucking listen to this album. It's so fucking good, dude.
Dude, you want to talk about weirdo music that like I feel like that band was like they blew up on MySpace and then they just like broke up.
Yeah, they did. They released one album. The guitarist is actually Blood Orange.
Wait, is that Blood Orange?
Yeah, the guitarist for Test Icicles is Blood Orange. He's an artist that's worked for like a ton of people. He's like super famous in the United States.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus. He's got like 2.5 million monthly listens. He's the feature on Love Call by Turnstile.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a guitarist for Test Icicles, yeah.
Well, he's doing well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Good for them.
Man, that was his high school band?
Yeah.
He's destined for greatness, I guess.
Right?
Oh, there's one band I missed that if anyone who knows me listened to this, they would be upset that I didn't include this. The greatest of all emo bands, Armor for Sleep.
Yes.
Okay, there you
go.
go.
My God. I don't think we've ever gotten Armor for Sleep.
I don't think so. That might be the premiere.
Before us are Opposers.
Yes. That is like that was my introduction to concept albums.
I love that.
Yes.
I'm going to go from the album before that. I'm going to go with My Town off Dream to Make Believe. But yeah, dude, What to Do When You Are Dead. I bought a long sleeve like from their like 15-year anniversary. Like
that's awesome, man. Yeah. I didn't even know what a concept album was until that album came out. So that was dope.
Hell yeah.
Brian, what you got for us, man?
So my scene days were kind of split between 2 segments of scene. It was like the classic skinny jeans, whatever, and then also the proggy side of it.
Yes.
So I'll start with the classics, but keep in mind I'm 5 years younger, so
Yeah.
my list is gonna look a little different. I don't know if you guys ever listened to the band Woe Is Me.
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That shit was so cool to me because it was so like the amount of electronics in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, this is insanely technical, and it's just like it rubbed my brain the right way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think I'll throw And Delinquents from Woe Is Me on it, and then obviously like I went on to listen to Issues a bunch, and now we work with Sky a bunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that album was probably I listened to that album more in high school than a lot of other albums.
It's a great album.
There was a band called Broadway. I would throw Don't Jump the Shark Before You Save the Whale by Broadway featuring Johnny Craig.
Goated.
Yes.
Album.
Yeah, it's a
Goated.
it's a good album. The rest of their albums just garbage.
Yeah, for some dude, this one is like I still come back to this.
Your
one.
fun
this is
fact
an
is I
awesome
actually had Misha Camacho, the lead singer of Broadway, on here. I talked to him
are you serious?
yeah, I talked to him like 2 years ago. Super
don't tell him I
fucking
called
nice
this
guy.
later
I will
album
not. I will not.
I think one
Too
of the
late.
guys-
it was just him. So he wrote like it was almost like an easy core album was the second album, and
Yep.
then the third album that was just all him. And that's a concept album as well. It's about like robots taking over the earth and shit. It's like it's a super in-depth apocalypse robot album.
I'll be honest, I didn't even listen to Contexture. I actually probably should have because it looks like it's probably way different than the second one. The second one threw me off so much that I didn't want to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
But anyway, that album Kingdoms was really, really great. So I'll throw that scene ass name, Don't Jump the Shark or whatever. Speaking of Emarosa,
Yes.
I know that Daniel would probably say The Past Would Stay Dead, but I'm going to throw a deeper cut from the second album. Broken versus The Way We Were Born was
Very powerful vocals
Yes.
on that song.
I
Love
actually
that
didn't
song.
listen to that one.
Dude, this album's great. It sounds just like the one before it.
Well, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Relativity and their self-title I think sound really similar. Relativity is probably the slightly more favorited one, but both the singles have about the same amount of plays. Anyway, I was really debating whether or not I was going to throw this on there because this is still a band and I don't really like them that much anymore. I mean, like it's just not really my vibe. But Sleeping with Sirens,
Yeah.
I would probably throw With Ears to See and Eyes to Hear, the song, on this playlist because that was a really big, that whole album, that first album.
Those first couple albums were really good, man.
Yeah. Those were insanely good albums. I was really into Sleeping with Sirens. And shit, while we're at it, we might as well just throw Pierce the Veil on there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. This is a deeper cut, but Tangled in the Great Escape featuring Jason Butler, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
That was one I really, really liked.
I got into them like super fucking late. I think Adam actually showed me them like one song. I don't remember what song it was. No. Maybe it was Sleeping with Sirens then. You showed me one.
Yeah,
it was
think I
Sleeping
showed
with
you.
Sirens. Yeah. And I think that's how I found Pierce the Veil. So I got into them when I was like early 20s, but I mean, they're so fucking good.
Of the two, I'd probably pick Pierce the Veil.
Yeah.
If I really got to compare them. But then I'll switch over to my prog side of my high school because that was much more like, let's go Circa Survive.
Oh, yes. I love them.
Let's do Semi-Constructive Criticism from On Letting Go.
Beautiful.
I'm going to go The Deer Hunter.
Yep.
Oh, so good.
Shout out. They actually live in Port Angeles, which is not in our neck of the woods. Oh, what song am I? This one's a tough one because
Yeah, The Deer Hunter is so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, there's so many amazing songs, but I gotta go deep. I gotta go to Act 2 probably. Let's do I'm not doing Red Hands, no way. Let's go. Actually, no, I gotta go. I'm going Act 3. This is tough. Let's do In Cauda Venenum from Act 3. Yeah, The Deer Hunter was a big one for me. And I remember when I met Casey, the singer, at one of their shows. It was not a packed show. I'll tell you what. It was right when the Color Spectrum came out. It was at Elco Zone. That's a venue here.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was not packed. We got to talk to him and he was super, super chill, super friendly. And I was probably a sophomore in high school at the time, and I was shaking in my boots, just like so nervous. And what's funny is that earlier that summer, I had met Jerry Cantrell, and I was like, that's cool, whatever. I was not nervous to meet Jerry Cantrell at all, despite the fact I'm like the difference between introducing myself to one of the most iconic guitarists of all time and then introducing myself to this dude who was playing to 90 people at El Corazon. Like,
Yeah, but they were 90 brain geniuses.
But that's the thing. It was my personal connection to the band. I didn't really have much of a connection to Alice in Chains at that time, but I had a huge connection to the Deer Hunter, and so yeah, that was a big one for me.
I feel that the cringiest thing I've ever done meeting someone was meeting Ace Enders from the early November. It was like 5 years ago. So I was like, I was an adult. This wasn't when I was a kid. And there were like, I don't know, there were like 3 local openers. So it was not a big show. I was at El Corazon, and like I just saw him in the crowd and was like, "Hey man, love your bit. Can I have a hug?" Okay, bye.
That is hilarious.
It was really bad. I'm like, now I'm like, dude, we're like colleagues in the music industry.
Yeah. Now you just should hit him up on Instagram and say, "Hey man."
I tweeted at him once and said the story. They didn't respond. It's okay.
Oh wow. Two face plans.
I own their album Lilac, which is kind of a later album, 2019, but that is such a fucking beautiful album, man. God.
They've never stopped being good.
Yeah.
I gotta point something out really quick. Daniel has still not mentioned his favorite band of all time.
It's a completely different story. Okay, Minus the Bear is my favorite band.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, funny story. I also through work got connected with their guitarist, and after like a couple times of working together, I had to break the news and was like, "Hey man, I just gotta let you know, like." Like everything you've ever written, like I even like the shit people don't like I like all of it.
Yeah,
and I told him a great story of when I won on one of our earlier tours where they were playing their their last tour ever. I think it was like in 2018, and we had a day off on one of the days that they played like 3 straight days in Seattle, and I flew out of Phoenix to fly home. I went to my now wife's like holiday party at work, and then took an Uber to the Showbox to go watch Minus the Bear play like their second to last show ever. Spent the night at my wife's like apartment, and then took a flight in the morning to meet back up with the guys in Vegas.
Damn.
On a tour, yeah.
That's love. That is
right.
Yeah. You should probably throw a Minus the Bear song.
I think they deserve at least one.
No, the album that really got me into it was Highly Refined Pirates. I saw them probably the weird. I saw them opening for Thursday. Probably the weirdest tour I think I've ever seen, because Thursday is like they're from like the New York hardcore scene, so they're into like weirdo aggressive music. I saw a Thursday headliner with Minus the Bear as direct support and the number 12 Looks Like You as the opener.
Damn.
Like that's the weirdest fucking lineup you could possibly.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah.
I also saw Thursday with Vane as an opener, and man, there were 2 different groups of people at that show. Wow. There were like adults in their 40s wearing like business casual clothes coming from work, like trying to revisit their emo days. And then there were like the hardcore kids there to watch Vane. It was very weird.
Insane. Thursday was like, yeah, we think Vane's sick. We're bringing him out.
That's literally what they do.
That's awesome.
So
but yeah, I would say probably Monkey Knife Fight by Minus the Bear is that's probably the track for me.
Hell yeah. And before we end this topic, I have one more from my high school proggy side, and that is the band I the Mighty. That was one that only broke up a little while ago, and I would probably throw, let's see, my favorite album's not even on the top. Well, how about that?
Yeah, that's the
one. Man, this is actually what I'm gonna do is real old. I'm gonna go the song "The Dreamer." It was off the EP. Yeah.
My favorite song by the Mighty is "Karma Keepers."
Yeah. Oh wow.
I love that.
That's
Like,
really. That's
yeah, I
really
love that fucking like. It's like an acoustic folk type sound that they went for on that album.
yeah. That was their first release ever. It was
Yeah.
2008, I think.
Yeah, that was
Um,
such a good fucking song, man.
Yeah, that's a good one. Damn, you out deep cutted me. Yeah, yeah. I'll throw the Dreamer on there.
Awesome.
That was a band that I definitely followed, and my old band played. I think my second show ever was opening for them, and that was a lot of fun. Them and another like a metalcore band. I'm not sure, but regardless,
Okay.
I think that sums up our singing phase.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'd be remiss if we, didn't talk a little bit about the band that you're actually in.
Yes,
So-
yes.
You got two dudes that could talk about their history of music.
Oh,
we
it's
do
cool,
this.
man.
No,
This
we
is
do
this
this
is
like
like
when
my
Are we
favorite.
already there? I got
Yeah.
2 more eras to go through.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But just really quick, I think Augie and I just want to say like congrats on the headlining tour. It seems like it's selling like hotcakes, dude.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
It's that's awesome to hear. I mean, I'm honestly like pretty new to you guys. Like, how long have you guys been, a band and like working towards this?
Yeah. So John and I started the band in like 2013.
Okay.
We wrote the original. So John and I used to be in a melodic hardcore band
Mhm.
together. And we wrote the original like idea for the home team from like 2010 to 2011 or so. He tabbed some songs out on Guitar Pro, sent them to me. We went back and forth a little bit. And then our like respective metal bands kind of took off. And took off are in giant air quotes there. We started touring more with those bands.
You were busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were doing a band. And so we went and did that music for a little bit. John is the one that really had the big turning point. Like my band kind of fizzled out. It was just me dragging like 5 dudes who, they
didn't really want to do
they
it.
didn't really want it the way I wanted it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, 2 of those dudes are now in a doom band that's pretty successful, and we actually just played a show with them.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like a surprise show.
Yeah, and like so, we made a joke that after 10 years, they their doom band and my pop band finally played a show together. Anyways, we hit kind of a turning point where like we just had to ask everyone like, hey, do you guys like want to do this? And they weren't really down the way we were down. So John and I like got back together and like started the home team up for real, to make like one like real shot at doing music full time. And we've been going and touring pretty much nonstop since 2014.
I think that was when your first tour was 2014. 'Cause
Yeah.
you did 2 tours before me. You did one with Gerard and then one with John Air.
Yeah, and then Brian joined in 2015.
Yep.
After a couple different singers.
I think I was 19 at the time.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
that was where the band like that's where we like really started.
Yeah.
So 2015 is like we had multiple incarnations that didn't do anything before, and Brian in 2015 is when we like really started.
Yep. And that's when those 4 songs that we were talking about, Jimmy on the Radio, all that stuff.
Mhm.
That's when those came out. And that was like fresh off my metalcore band. And same thing. It was just kind of like, it started to fizzle out. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys want this as bad as I do? And I think I'm going to go audition for the home team. And I got the part.
Did anyone ask you not to?
No. And that's how you know it was a good thing. Yeah, nobody said, I don't want you to do that, because I would have been the one saying to somebody else, I don't want you to do that, because I was trying to drag them along. Fun fact, though, I was in a band with a dude named Luke, who now plays in a band called Avoid.
Oh,
Love
wow.
Avoid.
Love
Yeah,
Avoid.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He doesn't tour with them that much anymore. He's like their kind of honorary 5th member.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You'll see most of their pictures. I mean, actually, most of their promos have him in it.
I think
Yeah.
so.
But so he was in my metalcore band with me, and he was the only other one who was like dedicated, but he had another project that he could go do.
Yeah.
It was Avoid, and that's how far back we go with Avoid. Like I met Benny when he was 15.
I feel like I remember hearing "Avoid the Void"
That was their old band name.
pre-puberty. I know it.
Oh,
wasn't,
yeah.
but
I mean, depending on how early, because they were a School of Rock band, and I think only 2 of their original members are in it anymore. Luke wasn't even an original member, but he joined the Void when we were in our band Stories Away together. And so knowing that the only other person who would have, he's the only one who would have said, don't join the home team.
Yeah.
But he had his own project. He had his own thing going.
True.
So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to go join the home team. So after that, it was a million DIY tours across the West Coast
Yeah.
until Better Off came out. Then we did 2 full US tours, one supporting, one headlining. And headlining is big air quotes because
We were the only band with no support acts.
yes.
Yeah.
It's
Gotcha.
all local support every day. And so that was in 2019, and then COVID hit, and that's when we wrote Slow Bloom, and that's pretty much the history of the home team.
Damn, I'm glad y'all survived COVID, man, because a lot of bands didn't. So
Indeed. It was tough times for sure.
Yeah.
You know, how does it feel to, when you speak about these early beginnings and these metalcore bands and just how much you wanted it, and now I'll say it, I think you're getting it. You know,
Yeah.
if
I
I don't want to speak too early, but
what I've come to realize is that I'm always going to be hungry.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get full. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now here's the
Yeah.
thing. I don't have another job right now. Luckily, I'm paying all my bills with the home team. I'm not making
Yeah.
bank. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I think for me, the day where I feel really financially secure is probably the day where I say, I did it. I did the thing that I always wanted to do. And it's
Yeah.
funny because 3 years ago, I had a way different metric that
Yep.
would have said I did it. And that was purely, I will never play an empty show again. I will know that
Yeah.
I'll never play an empty show again,
Yeah.
barring exceptions of like we start to fizzle out and then we start to have to play smaller event, like, you know, all that way
Yeah.
future stuff.
We won't play an empty show this year,
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly. Basically, in my head, I was like, if I can get to the point where I know that there are going to be people at every show, I will have made it. And now,
Mhm.
now that we're here, I'm like, that's not even close to what I'm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's all
I'm
right.
like, I
Just
got
keep
bigger
setting new
goals now.
metrics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all right to set new goals, man. That's awesome. I mean, even still, you said you joined the band when you were 19. The band, and y'all were a band like 2 years prior to that. So, I mean, just with you in it, that's already 9 years. So it
Yeah.
takes a long fucking time, you know, to get to where y'all are at. But
No doubt.
you know, y'all fucking are killing it right now. I actually was introduced to. I've been seeing the home team come up all over the place. I was late to the game. I didn't listen at first. But there was a band we just released an interview for. This song isn't even out yet, and you're featured on it.
Oh, wait, let me guess. Properties of Nature.
Yes.
Yep.
That when your fucking part comes in, I was blown the fuck away because they
Yeah.
sent us the demo like 3-4 months ago, like back in October, and I was blown the fuck away. I was like, dude, I gotta check this shit out. And that's when I fucking just started listening heavy to like every song. So
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, those
they're-
dudes were one of the first bands to hit me up when I made like a post back in March when I was like, well, I'm not gonna get another job, so I should probably start making some money. And I made a post like, hey, I'm open for features. Like, if you want me to feature on your song, I'm down. I got my rate and everything. And they were one of the first bands to hit me up about it.
yeah, really, yeah, they're awesome. Such nice dudes. And that song is fucking, when you come in, dude, it's fucking like, I was literally like, holy shit.
Dope. I like that one a lot. I recorded that
Yeah.
one back in like April, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how I kind of found you. And I mean, I've been jamming your shit quite frequently. So, and Adam texted me today and was like, bro, it was like 2 days ago. He's like, the fucking home team. I was like, I know, man.
I'm a slow adopter of music. I'm very
Yeah.
stuck in my old ways. So
I hear you.
Dude, I
um,
feel that I've made a real conscious effort this year to like go out of my way to listen to bands that I've never listened to before.
Yep.
And like I'm digging around on spot. I'm always looking around on Spotify, like who are the fans also listen to or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I'm trying to listen to a lot of artists this year that I've never listened to before.
Yep.
Yeah, doing this podcast, as you mentioned, we always try to listen to the artist's like full discography or whatever we can get our hands on. So it's really opened, my ears to a lot of new music, and so that's been a really fun part. Aside from doing it with my best friend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been friends for like 20 years, or no, like how old are you?
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
20
That's
years?
right.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a long
Might as well
time
get
to be friends with
hitched.
somebody, right? God damn. How's everybody doing? That was good. You like that? Gotta redo it.
You like that?
All right.
Okay, hold on.
So everybody always asks us, where do we find these playlists that we make on this show? And we find them on, you can just follow us on Spotify at VIP LAYLIST. And I'll also leave links on all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find all the playlists there as well. I have a link tree, and that ad is VIP LAYLIST POD, all one word. And that's where you find these things at. So,
Yep. So no more complaining.
yeah.
And
I told you. You
go
don't
find
listen, on you.
Go find them. Go listen to them. Give us feedback, please.
Yeah. Leave us a review because we love you. And that would be the coolest thing ever. Subscribe and follow. I feel like that's a YouTube thing, but no, do it either anyway.
Yeah.
If you can't find the button, I don't know. You're not
DM
trying
me.
hard enough.
DM me.
Yeah. Leave us a review. That'd be really cool. And then go follow us on our socials and on Spotify to keep up with the playlist.
Thank you.
Hey, so I wanted to ask y'all, I don't know how long you usually want each episode to be, but Dan and I think if I can speak for both of us, we have about 2 eras. We can either talk about our for me, college is the next one, or we can skip to now. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's fine.
We can also do both. We can
It's
have,
up to
I
you.
have
I mean,
college and now.
yeah, we have
That's
I have
fine
college
with
and
me.
now.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I have one question before we get to that though, if that's
Yes.
cool.
We can talk about ourselves.
so-
We can talk about
Go for it.
ourselves forever. Don't even worry. I just didn't want to take up too much of your time.
No. This is
you're
great.
good, man. Yeah, my kids are in bed. We're good right now. So
I don't have kids.
Yeah, Adam's, but so you mentioned Woe Was Me being like one of your favorite bands previously, growing up, and now y'all actually work with Skylar producing your shit. How is that, man?
This guy's amazing. He
Yeah.
actually comes from our neck of the woods. There's an age-old tale that we like to tell about John and Red Robin. And basically, back in the day, John used to play in a metal band. This was a Turn and Nocturne, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like a death metal band.
And Sky and his brother Ty have they've always been around. And we just we knew them, but we weren't, John wasn't friends with them. We just there were other people in the scene.
Yeah, exactly. And they both grew up in Lake Stevens, which is up near Everett. And basically, there was one time where John was at Red Robin with Eterna Nocturna, and he was kicking a member out.
He was actually kicking a member out of Open Fire, the band I was in.
Oh, he was kicking. Okay, I got it.
He was trying to join Eterna Nocturna, but a guy in our band, no call, no showed a show.
Yeah.
And John wanted to kick him out, but the guy who ran the band said, no, give him another chance. And John was like, what do you mean? He didn't show up.
Yeah,
He's out.
Right.
That's
And so
it.
John,
You're out.
but they were like, no, go to dinner with him, talk to him about it. And so John took him to Red Robin to talk to him about taking the band more seriously.
Right. And whether or not he was going to come out. So it was a serious conversation.
Sure.
At the time, John was, though, also in Eterna Nocturna, right? Okay. So Sky is waiting tables.
I think he was bussing.
Oh, he was busting.
Oh, shit.
At
That's
Red Robin.
crazy.
And he sees John. He goes up to John and he's like, bro, I love your band. If you guys ever need a bassist, let me know. I play bass. And John, he was in not a good mood. He was just like, cool, bro.
Yeah,
He's a cool guy at the
wrong
fuck out of
place.
Sky.
out of a
Wrong time.
generational talent.
Out of
bass
one of the
player.
most talented musicians we've ever met in our lives. And
That's hilarious.
yeah, and I think Sky was going to Cornish at the time. Maybe that's a little later, but Cornish is like this. It's basically like Seattle's Berkeley, like School of Music.
Gotcha.
And anyway, so I can't imagine Sky felt good. He's like, oh, damn. Whatever.
A couple of years later, Sky moves to LA.
To join Issues.
Yeah, then joins Issues. And so now whenever we see Sky, we like to remind him that John made his career.
Yeah, because
He saved him.
had Sky joined Eterna Nocturna, it would have sunk him.
Yeah, he could have stuck around Seattle, not moved
Yeah.
to LA.
To be
That's
fair,
hilarious.
he'd probably be doing all right just from his talent alone.
He's the best musician
Yeah.
I've ever been in a room
The,
with.
That's the craziest part about the scene to me is that he is touring member for 21 Pilots. That's
Yeah, dude.
fucking insane, dude.
Insane.
Yes.
But also, like, our bassist Ryan has like he has a little rule that you have to be an 8 average
For the touring industry, like
Yeah.
the big touring industry.
yeah between musicianship and your ability to be a good hang. So if
Yeah.
you're a 10 musician and a 6 hang, then you're an 8 average. You're good enough. And vice versa. A lot of people get by being real cool. That's a
10 out of 10 hang, 6 out of 10 musician. That's John.
yeah. But Sky is like a 10 out of 10 hang and like a 12 out of 10 musician. So
Beautiful.
like, there's no doubt. It's not a question as to why he's making it.
Yeah, if anybody was going to the top, it was Sky. And his brother, Ty, his twin
Yes.
brother, is also equally as talented. He's insane. And we just wrapped up a song working on the song with both of them. And it was
nice.
a lot of fun.
That's awesome,
exciting.
man.
And their younger sister is also like insanely talented. And
She's a crazy singer. She's like a year younger than me, I think.
yeah, she's I think her Instagram and TikTok is like
Heb
Heb on the Web.
Mhm.
And she like makes these little videos where she sings about, like different
regular
mundane
things.
stuff and also like social causes.
Right.
And she's just like
She's
a
hella
viral TikTok star
That's crazy.
for singing.
Just
All
this-
right.
Just
this
talent just
musical-
runs in their blood.
Yeah, they just got to hit the
It's insane.
genetic
And I'm out here
lottery.
struggling to write a new drum beat.
It's just oozing from their pores. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. But
That's really
anyway,
great.
Yeah. Yeah. Love
Yeah, man.
love
So
that.
if y'all want to do college era, that's
Yeah,
that's fine with
college
me, man. Let's
era.
go.
Absolutely.
Let's get back
You
into
wanna go
it.
first?
Sure, I'll go first. So I got very much into deathcore and
Okay.
like very aggressive music. The band before the home team was a deathcore band, and that's what I like. I did a full band booking my own DIY tours for years. So this era for me was a lot of aggressive music. So the 4 bands that I'm going to list are Molotov Solution, Whitechapel, the Acacia Strain, and the Black Dahlia Murder. I think those are 4 bands that really like solidify that era of my life.
Yeah.
I think Molotov Solution is probably the like perfect deathcore band. So I'm gonna go off their I think second album, The Harbinger. I'm gonna say the song. Actually, the title track of the album, The Harbinger. Then from Whitechapel, the album that really like changed the game, I think, was This Is Exile. It was like their first album on Metal Blade. The song Possession, when that opening riff kicks in, that's like whole room goes nuts. From the Acacia Strain, I was a big fan of the Dead Walk, but the album Wormwood is one that like really I think changed the landscape of heavy music. The opening track Beast off Wormwood, it was like a game changer when that first riff came in using like those low tune guitars. Like, I think changed the way people looked at low tuning and hardcore.
Yeah.
And then from the Black Dahlia Murder, the opening track off of Nocturnal, Everything Went Black.
Hell yeah. The Black Dahlia Murder. Yeah, those are amazing bands.
Yeah.
All right, I got a few. I also got into heavier music in college, but in a slightly different way. Mine went way more on like the proggy instrumental type shit.
Yeah.
And I think the number one, like my favorite band for probably 2 years was a band called Era. And they were, to be honest, they changed their sound quite a bit when they changed their vocalist. And I don't really love all their new stuff. I don't blame them for changing their sound at all. To be honest, their sound was not accessible.
Yeah.
They needed to change to get bigger. And I harbor no ill will towards the band for changing. That said, it was a drastic switch. And what they used to play, that's what I loved. That's the stuff that really like, dude, I could listen to that all day and never get sick of it. A song that I would love to throw in from era. Ooh, this is tough. Like they're all freaking really good. Do I want that first album or the second one? I think I got the second one. Let's do Hybrid Earth from Augment. Yeah, that band, just like how technical and cool they were, while not like they didn't disrupt any grooves. For me at least. I think as a musician, it was like very like kind of musician music where I just, I wanted to hear complicated stuff, but I also wanted to hear good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Adam just saw them this year.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Or last year.
That's dope. Here's another band that is still very relevant today and they're very sick today, but I'm going to pull up deeper cuts from them. It's Polyphia.
Yeah.
I was very, very into Polyphia when they first started dropping stuff, like their first EP. And I think as a result, I'm going to pick something that's a little older, despite the fact that like today I listen to their newer stuff because I think it's cooler.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if we're doing the,
college era,
and things like that, I think I'm going to throw, what's a good one? I think I'll do Envision. It was a single. That one, I would listen to that on, sunny Fridays at Western Washington University, walking home from the Viking Union to my dorm. Yeah, that was a huge one for me. And then I'll throw Born of Osiris in here because
nice.
I listen to a lot of Born of Osiris. And what's cool is that like when they first started hitting it, I think when I was younger, The New Rain was recorded so poorly that I didn't give it a chance.
Oh, The Eternal Rain.
Right. Well, you see where I'm going. The New Rain, like, I just like, I couldn't listen to it as when I was younger. I couldn't get into it because I was like, this sounds like shit. Like, it's so cool, but it sounds like shit. And I got really into The Discovery, which was a later album of theirs, and Tomorrow We Die Alive. And then when I was in college, they released The Eternal Rain, which is where they re-recorded the new Rain. And I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
This is so sick. Oh my God. So I think I would probably throw Abstract Art from The Eternal Rain on there. That was a big one. I'll do a deeper cut. This band is very era adjacent. Oh my God, I'm blanking on the name. Hold on. I just
Northlane?
Very, very similar. Actually, I'll throw a Northlane song on. That was another one. That was I almost just typed in Northlane. Now let's do. I've
never heard that before.
Oh, I don't want to do Quantum Flux, but I do want to do Quantum Flux because it's a single. It's like the single everyone liked.
Boo!
I know.
Got him.
Pull a real unpopular move and pick something from their new vocalist because the first album they came out with their new vocalist I actually really liked. Node. I really liked that in college. Like, oh my God, they have so many albums since then. God, they're Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm going to go, nobody's going to like this choice. I'm going to go with Rot on Node by Northlane. Any Northlane fans can be like, dude, you're a poser. No, it was Invent Animate.
Oh yeah, I saw them too.
Yeah, they played with Era,
played
right?
with Era. Yeah, I saw them.
Yeah, very Era adjacent. Let's throw Forest Haven on Everchanger by Invent Animate.
Yeah, they're from Texas, like us, Augie.
Oh, are
nice.
they? Hell yeah.
Very dope. That's pretty much my college experience.
Yeah.
Right there. Just in like super proggy, because that's when I was like playing a lot of guitar and I was like really into guitar music.
Sure.
And so yeah. No, but
I just saw like Polyphia, they completely sold out their last tour. And then they just posted a screenshot. They're going on 2 tours this year. The United States tour and then a European tour, and both of those are almost sold out. There's only like 3 dates with fucking tickets left.
That's insane.
Yeah, and like I've been following them for a long time since they released. I don't remember what song it is. I think it was like 40. It's something with 40 in it, maybe.
Yeah, 40 ounce.
Yeah, 40 ounce.
That was Low-File. That was Sky's brother.
Yeah. Oh, really? Damn, that's awesome. Yeah, I've been listening to him since then, but just to see them coming from that to just getting progressively more and more popular with every
They are
release.
huge now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, there's one band that was probably the most important college band for me, but I almost don't want to say it because of recent events.
Yeah.
Dance Gavin Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I put a song by Dance
I
Gavin?
can probably leave them off.
I'm going to leave it
playlist.
off because I'm going to be honest. I don't mind if people know that I listened to them a ton in college because that was like my favorite band in college.
Yeah. So fun fact, another one is I had Zachary Guerin on here as well. And the 2 albums with Kurt Travis, so the Death Star and Happiness. I asked him because those were like the grooviest things they've ever wrote, right? Like just hella fucking groovy. And I asked him what was the influence on that, and it was Test Icicles. That's how I found that band. It's through Zachary Guerin. Yeah. Yeah, they were listening to Test Icicles and then Justice, which Justice is another, I think, overseas band. They have a song called "We Are Friends," and it's fucking sick.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will leave DGD off the playlist. However, everybody can know that I no longer listen to them.
Yeah.
But I think we're on to like new like current music that we listen to. Huh?
Yes.
You wanna go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go. Sure, we'll keep it going same way.
It's about to get real weird compared to what we were just talking about.
Yeah. All right. So first artist for me on the current one is from Indian Lakes.
Yes. Oh my God. They're so good.
This is like the perfect indie band.
Yes.
They're like one of the few bands I think in that genre that like really hit the DIY touring like the same way that we did. Like I remember seeing I found them from seeing their name and their flyers at like all the small venues that we used to play. So I'd say the song Breathe Desperately off of Absent Sounds, that's like, this band is in my top 5 most listened every year on Spotify, because it's just like, if I need to fall asleep on the plane or something, this is the album I'm putting on.
Yeah.
Like if I'm working, I put on just like their entire discography on repeat. But yeah, Breathe Desperately by From Indian Lakes. The next one is the song Lyrics by the artist Skepta. He's a like grime rapper from the UK. Just
okay.
Sick. Like I don't really have a lot to say about it. It's just he's sick. Very important band in my in defining metal and like heavy music in general. I could not make this playlist without including a Meshuggah song on here. I'm gonna say the song Ligature Marks off of their newest record. I think it's Immutable. They are the pioneers of heavy heavy music, basically.
Funny story, when I was in high school, I would just like buy random records that I thought I would like, and I bought Meshuggah's Eye only to come to the realization that it was one fucking 20-minute song.
So sick.
Yeah.
And this is just like a band that, as metal fans, like none of the bands that we listen to would sound the way that they sound if not for Meshuggah.
Yeah.
Right? Like there are a few bands that I'd say I would recommend to even like my normie friends. Like if this band is playing near you, you need to go watch it just to experience it, because they're getting old. They're probably not going to be doing it for too much longer, and you'll never feel live sound like the way a Meshuggah sound like show sounds.
Yeah, that's all, man. That's cool.
Yeah, on the last tour that we did, opening for Real Friends, we actually drove a little bit early so that we could get to Pittsburgh the night before we play there, so that John and I could go see Meshuggah in Pittsburgh. And it's just like a life-changing experience. It's the best live sound I've ever heard, best light show I've ever seen. 10 out of 10, would always recommend. Next one up is an artist called Ash Nico.
Yeah, okay. My wife listens to her.
Yeah, her song Daisy. That is I think it's the first track off of her album Demi Devil. Yeah, shit's great. Shit. Yeah. This is TikTok music. That's what we're starting to get.
Yeah. So every time we get in the car, like I swear. So one of her songs comes on and she immediately has to change it because the kids are in the car.
Yeah, you can't play that out like
Yeah.
that. Next song up is, I think, one of, if not the most interesting band doing it right now, Sleep Token.
Yeah, I just heard their new single. Oh my God, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to include the new singles yet because they haven't done to me what this song has done to me.
Yeah.
The song "The Love You Want" is like just the most emotive song I think of like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I can't think of any. There are very few songs where just listening to them, like if you're really paying attention, like it has brought me to tears.
Dude,
Oh, wow.
absolutely.
And like it's just a feeling that I don't really get from music very often.
Yeah. I haven't dove like into them yet, but I did check out. Everybody was talking about The Summoning, so I went and listened to that, and it's fucking like the end of that song is so fucking cool.
That's the one with like the funk groove. At the
Yeah,
end, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Highly recommend. But man, the album is it Alkaline? Is that what it's called?
No,
Or is it-
this something will become your tomb.
Oh,
Place
yeah.
will become your tomb.
Yeah. The album before this is like front to back, just a masterpiece.
I'll have to check it out for sure.
Like if there was any of the things that we're talking about, if there was one that I think we could all agree, like
Oh, I'm so sorry,
like
Dazer.
it's important that you, I think for your own musical like growth that you should listen to, I'd say it's probably this album.
I almost knocked my dog off my chair. Yes, I completely agree. And Sleep Token is probably unanimously loved by our whole band.
Yeah, they're great.
Another band that we all love, Don Broco.
Don
is-
Rocco. Yeah, I saw your hoodie.
Yep. I'm wearing a Don Broco hoodie right now. Very just influential, not necessarily in like our sound, but in how we approach songwriting. Like to me, the album Technology, listening when I first heard that, basically every album I've heard from them has had like the same kind of growth. It's been like I listen to it, I'm like, that's not really what I'm looking for. And I
Yeah.
hear it again, I'm like, it's all right. And then someone tells me like, dude, I've been listening to this nonstop. And then I
Yeah.
go and listen to it, and then eventually it's just like the only thing I listen to
Yeah.
for months at a time.
It can be hard to get into, but once you do, it'll take.
I saw them live. Me and Adam saw them live a couple years ago.
Yep.
I think was that the Mothership tour?
Yeah, it's with DJ.
Oh, with Dance Gavin Dance. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was Mothership tour. I think Hell the Sun opened, and then it was Don Bracco. And I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but Don Bracco put on the better show.
Oh yeah, dude. They
Bro.
crushed.
I fully agree.
Yeah.
Fully agree. I think Covet was opening that before Hail the Sun.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah.
We actually opened 4 dates of a Don Broco tour in 2019.
Yep.
That's where we like first met them. One of our managers, like his brother, his cousin was Dance Gavin Dance's like front of house or
Yeah.
or monitor
He
guy.
was their monitor guy.
And so like one of the cringier things we've ever had to do is like we got the chance to meet them like as a band. We were like, we had never opened for another bigger act before, and we went to that show and like met them, and we're just like, hi,
Shout the shit.
we love your band. Yeah, we like coffee too. You like coffee?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talk about coffee.
Yeah.
And then they had us out for like 4 days of a tour like the next year. But yeah, the song "Everybody" by Don Broco, they kind of opened my eyes songwriting wise that like you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, dude, he's got so much fucking energy on stage. Like
Mhm.
Yeah, dude.
it's unmatched, man. And
I gotta
yeah,
get in
like
better shape if I'm gonna match that.
bro, like he just kills it, man. He looks like he's having so much fucking fun up there, dude. Just
Yeah,
killing it.
yeah. He's dope.
I got 2 more. As far as heavy music goes, say "Humanity's Last Breath" is a like one of the most aggressive, angry, heavy bands possible. The song "Bursting Bowel of Tellus" off of their album Abyssal. That's one of my go-to heavy albums. It's just sounds that no one else makes. Just very, very aggressive, very angry music. And then another really, really like pushing the boundary of what you're doing in music today band, and say the band Loathe. the song New Faces in the Dark. I'm a huge Deftones fan. They weren't included in my original new metal, list of bands, but like Deftones, a lot of bands in hard rock and metal also wouldn't sound the way they sound if not for Deftones like pioneering the way.
Yeah, I love them.
I don't remember who it was that I saw. It was I think it was like a news article or something that I read. That's basically a lot of hardcore bands like Turnstile and Loathe and all those people are they just sound like a heavier Deftones. They're like taking a lot from fucking Deftones.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Deftones is of all the bands from like the new metal era, like they're the only band to really progress and like evolve their sound and keep being just as successful as they were before. Like they never had the Linkin Park like massive arena size. Like they never had any singles that big, but like if you go back from their earlier stuff in like the 90s all the way to their more recent records, like they're just as liked by the fan base.
That's it. Me and Adam saw them like fucking long time ago. It feels like with Incubus opened, and they were Incubus was the headliner. They were the opener.
Yeah.
And so it was Deftones and Incubus, and holy shit, that was hands down the best show I've ever been to.
Yeah, every band in hardcore that's doing any sort of like singy part, they're just ripping off Deftones right now. And they would admit it to you. It's not like it's a secret.
Yeah. Do what works, man.
I'll dive in. First, I'm going to do some duplicates because there's two bands that Daniel mentioned, and then there's one other band that have had a huge impact on the home team specifically. I'm going to throw another Sleep Token song on there because it's the way, I mean, all of us unanimously
let's get
this band. Fall For Me. We literally picked the two softest songs from the record. But yeah, Fall For Me from Sleep Token. I'm going to throw another Don Broco song, Technology.
That opening riff.
Yep,
man.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to throw a band that we all unanimously love. It's a Japanese rock band called Polka Dot Stingray. John is a big Polka Dot Stingray fan as well as I am. And I'm going to throw the song Fiction because it's one of the only ones that I know the name of because the rest are in kanji.
Yeah.
But Fiction is one of my favorite songs by them. Jet is also another really good song by Polka Dot Stingray.
And Ichidaiji.
Ichidaiji is a really good song. We I don't want to like reveal too much, but we ripped them off. Like we definitely take a lot of influence from Polka Dot Stingray. Luckily, nobody in the States knows who they are. So.
And we keep trying to give other bands the sauce, and we're telling them like, bro, they got it figured out.
They got it figured out.
They're 5 years ahead of us, and this is where it's going. And our friends and other contemporary bands like won't listen to them. We're like,
they're like, this is
fine.
Too weird. Weird.
We'll just listen to them.
We'll just do it. For me personally, what I listen to now is extremely different than what I used to listen to. I listen to a lot of contemporary R&B music.
Hell yeah.
And I also listen to like chill hop, like lo-fi beats to study to and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to throw probably my favorite contemporary R&B artist is an artist in Lucky Day with an E at the end of day. He's getting really, really big at the moment. He had a song on the Kehlani album. He's insanely good. I think the song, I want to do something from his newer album, but I think I'm going to do something from his first album. Let's do Concentrate by Lucky Day. That's one of my favorite songs. And then the artist Victoria Monet as well. She's really fantastic. This is the part where everybody's like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
I've heard of Victoria Monet. I just don't know what song.
Yeah, I'll throw, I think I'm going to do Dive. It's like the horniest song I've ever heard in my life.
That's what R&B is all about, though, man.
Is that song?
Fucking sounds really horny. And she, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she does a lot of writing for Ariana Grande.
Oh, wow.
And you guessed it. Next artist is Ariana Grande.
Hell yeah.
I am not kidding.
Let's do it.
I'm a massive Ariana Grande fan. There are a few pictures of me playing live in an Ari shirt. I'm going to go with Just Like Magic from her new album Positions. My sister has been the biggest Ariana Grande fan of all time forever. And I used to be like, that shit's whack. And then she released the album Thank You Next. And I was like, wow, okay, never mind. You were right. You were right all along. I went back to Sweetener and I was like, this is amazing too. I can't believe I wrote this off. This is so good. It is borderline R&B music. Like obviously she fits into the pop realm, but she takes so much from R&B. And once I found out that Victoria Monet has a big hand in that, I was like, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw an album named Joyce Rice on here because she's really, really good. I saw her I'm wearing a Joyce Rice shirt right now. What's up? I'm going to do probably Chandler. Yeah, Joyce is amazing. She was playing with Lucky and I found her through that and I was just like, I was hooked from there. I only got like a couple more. Don't worry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Like all day. But Ella May, Mai, she's phenomenal. I'm probably gonna go with.
You sure it's not LMFAO?
Stop. Dangerous by Ella May, and then finally for this segment of my current listening, I'm gonna go The Weeknd by SZA, not the artist The Weeknd. I love The Weeknd, but SZA has a song called The Weeknd. I'm gonna throw that on there. Big SZA fan. Love her new album. For honorable mention, I'm gonna throw a chill hop artist in here called Sleepy Fish. Sleepy Fish does a ton of amazing piano work across all of this stuff, and it's so good. I think I'm gonna go with the song Feather from the album Everything Fades to Blue. I put that stuff on. I'll put chill hop playlists on every single morning when I wake up.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, there's all the stuff that nobody else can relate to.
Yeah, current listens, man. That's awesome. I don't have a whole lot more questions. I have like two, and these are gonna be quick questions. It's not like music related. How do y'all handle like who controls the aux cord on tour, or do y'all just listen to your own stuff?
Oh, it's whoever's driving.
Whoever's driving
has the aux cord.
Yep, easy peasy.
Nice.
Most of the time, people are just listening to their own thing.
Yeah,
which is why it kind of defaults to whoever's driving.
Yeah,
but we don't really drive a lot while everyone's awake, because just the nature of like the long drives in between states in like the Midwest and the West Coast. Usually this next tour we're going to be hiring a driver for the first time, which is going to be a game changer for us. But usually there's two people who drive at night, and it's Brian and our bassist Ryan. And then John and I are like the daytime drivers. So because drives can be, 6 to 10 hours long in between shows, like we have to drive overnight. Otherwise we're getting up at 6 a.m. anyways. So you might as well just sleep in the van and, get 4 or 5 hours done at night.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for the most part, honestly, on tour, I listen to podcasts and audiobooks more than music anyway, because we're just around music all the
constantly.
time.
Yeah. You got to take a break.
I don't really want to listen to music when I'm just going to have to be there and like hear it in my in-ears like all night anyway. Yeah.
So I did this podcast 2 years ago, and then I just started it back like 6 months ago. Like in December, I kind of got burnt out because we're, I don't remember how many episodes released, but that's like, I listen to the playlists that they make, and I also listen to all of their discography. So it's like constant influx of music. So I like for the last like month and a half, I've just been listening to like podcasts, and like not even good ones either.
Dude, I was gonna say good fucking luck with this playlist because it is an eternity.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I'll listen to it. And then my last question is, what city are y'all looking most forward to playing in?
Atlanta. Yeah, no doubt. That's just the sickest shows. I mean, Baltimore too, because we just upgraded to an amazing venue that is way too sick for us.
Yeah. I think the big ones for me: New York, Baltimore, Atlanta, LA. We just upgraded our venue in LA to like some of the venues we're playing. I don't know how we're here because I think they're way too nice and way too big for us. But apparently, we're selling enough tickets that the venues are happy to have us, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congrats to y'all, and that's so fucking cool.
But yeah, I remember the Baltimore venue. My mother-in-law lives out there, and I told her, I'm like, yeah, we're never going to be back here, so it's super cool that you're going to see us play here.
Yeah,
and
lo and behold, we're playing there a year later.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's awesome. Baltimore's got one hell of a music scene starting too. Like, good night.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of sick bands coming out there. One that we really like called Nightlife.
Yes,
been very sick. Highly recommend.
Yeah, we had him on too, Hanzo.
Oh, very
Nice.
cool.
Very cool.
Super nice dude.
Yeah, they're rad.
Adam, you got anything?
No, man. I don't have any other questions at the moment.
Get
Sorry
these guys
for-
to shut
I was
the
gonna
fuck
say
up.
sorry
No,
for talking
man.
your ear
No,
off.
no, no,
y'all
no.
are
This
good,
was-
dude. I love it.
This is a
We
bad
do
podcast.
have
Money.
a couple that we always wrap up with. I don't
Yeah.
have any other new ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll hit the questions if you want to do the links and everything. So give us two of y'all's favorite home team songs, and I'll put one at the top of the playlist and then one at the bottom.
I would say my favorite's probably Watching How Your Friends Get Rich.
And I'd say, if I'm saying my favorite, it's On.
On?
The song is called On. Sorry. Yeah. It's off
a deep
Slow
cut.
Balloon.
Gotcha.
It's one of our favorites, though.
It's we play it in spite of our fans not streaming it more than the other songs. And we let them know live every time we play it that
I
this
say,
song is
hey, I'm playing this because we like this song. I don't really care if you do.
Yeah. So this is your spotlight, guys. Shout out your social media handles, any, band current events, new music maybe coming out, shows. This is your chance also to shout out some homies if you got homies, other than homies bands, stuff like
no
that.
homies. I got only haters.
Only haters.
Haters make you
Wow.
famous.
And we're only hots for proving them all wrong.
We are at the home team on Instagram, at the home team NW on Twitter, right?
Yep. Sometimes very frustrating. The home team _ on TikTok.
Yeah.
We're working on getting these all solidified.
Yeah.
Some 13-year-old has the home team on TikTok.
It's fucking.
Oh, man.
And we have a headlining tour with Broadside and Honey Revenge as support this coming March and April. We're doing a full US, so we're playing all over the country. Shows are selling out. So if you hear this and you've made it this far, please buy a ticket because they might not be there when the date comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have new music coming out this year at some point.
Definitely.
We don't know when, but we have new music recorded that will be coming out sometime this year.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, thank y'all so much. I enjoyed it. Like,
Yeah, guys. Thank you
awesome,
so much.
dude.
Being great sports.
yeah.
Thanks for letting us talk at you for 2 hours.
Yeah, man.
Anytime. Anytime.
Cool.
Yeah, this is a very, the fact that we talked for 2 hours is a very good sign because we do a lot of these, and a lot of times we get the same questions over and over again that we've answered a million times, and so we have them down to a science.
Yeah.
This is
We try to stray away from that. That's why I try to look up old interviews and stuff like that. That way I know, well, this has already been answered. So let's, not ask that. So
yeah, this is a great concept for a podcast because
well, thank you, man.
we've never done this before. This
Never
is
done.
fun.
It's Augie's brainchild. I'm just I'm just the Robin
Yeah.
to his Batman.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
man.
just realized I can't even believe I didn't talk about T-Pain.
Oh shit, dude.
It's
not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. We're still
he
here.
has the
Can't believe it by
sickest-
T-Pain. Throw it on there.
Throw it on there.
He has the sickest fucking Twitch opening song. He did not have to go that hard for his Twitch stream, man.
I'm going to look that up because I don't know what it is.
It's so fucking good,
I'll
dude.
check it out.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch and email or and get y'all this playlist and everything, let you know when it's coming out. So thank y'all
Oh,
very
yeah.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Bye.
So long.
Later.